BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Oh, let's go to the main shot, Justin. The main shot. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. Guys, my name is Ben. You guys obviously know that. I see a lot of comments about being late. Talk to YouTube. We've been trying to go live for 6 minutes. So if you guys have a problem with us waiting for YouTube, then leave the channel. We'll see you. Get out of here. So I can't help it. We can't help the fact that YouTube is so slow and archaic that when you're using professional equipment to go live, they can't support that. That's why we need things like Theta that can help YouTube, that is basically just a clown show at this point, trying to get sophisticated equipment to work right with it. We work very hard to bring you the highest quality that exists on YouTube. It's not our fault. We're trying to go live since 11:30. We've been hitting the button. So thank you, YouTube. Once again, you suck. So, all right, guys, today's show, we're going to be talking about a lot of geopolitical stuff going on around the world right now. We got some crazy stuff going on in Canada where they're trying to take people's rights. Take people's rights. Someone said, I care as much about being on time as Canada cares about rights. Guys, we're going to be looking at what's going on in Ukraine and how that is affecting the Fed. We're going to be looking at this emergency expedited Fed meeting today and what came of that, if anything. So as you guys know, I was gone at the Super Bowl over the weekend. I had a really great time with tons of celebrities. Two celebrities in particular I was really in awe of. I stood right next to John Voight. Now, nice. John Voight, I mean, maybe a lot of people don't think it's a big deal, but if you watch Ray Donovan, that's Mickey. You know what I mean? I'm standing right next to Mickey. And then here's my favorite one, Jay Chains. I was so close to this person that I could read his name on his credit card.
Stop.
Steve Urkel.
Really?
Yeah, I stood right next to Steve Urkel.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal. So, look, Jaleel White obviously is his name. So I was checking out with him in one of the pro shops there where we were buying some stuff for the kids. And yeah, it was really cool. It's like 25 feet from the weekend, Doja Cat. We were right there in the end zone where the Rams scored the go-ahead touchdown. So, congratulations to the Rams. I was pulling for the Rams. No offense to the Bengals. I would have been, happy if the Bengals won too. But we got a lot of Georgia Bulldogs. Leonard Floyd, Sony Michel, Matt Stafford on the Rams. And it just proves, if Matt Ryan went to the Rams, they probably would have won the Super Bowl. You get the right quarterback in there on the right team with a good offensive line and a defense and some weapons, and amazing what can happen. Take a note, Falcons. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get started. Somebody's saying we should get set up earlier. Well, here's the problem. We have no idea how long it's going to take. Some days it takes a minute. Some days it takes 7 minutes. So it was very frustrating in here looking at all these comments about us being late as we're literally waiting for YouTube. It's taking forever. So, right. Guys, we just have very sophisticated equipment here, and it takes a lot of bit rate for YouTube to process what we do here. But we certainly love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Just wait for the day when one of those celebrities walks up to you and says, holy crap, aren't you BitBoy Crypto? Yeah, that's happened before.
That's happened with a professional athlete, right?
Who are you talking about?
Some baseball player.
Oh, that did happen, right? Brandon Nimmo of the New York Mets. That did happen, actually.
Yep.
So where's TJ? TJ, he passed away. He's dead. So he died of a broken heart because I told him I was doing the show without him. TJ is he's in LA today, actually. He'll be back tomorrow. So TJ is everything's going great. He went on a snowboarding trip over the weekend. So exciting stuff. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started here. Coming in YouTube, 1.45 million subscribers. We've been stuck here forever. We finally just gained 1,000 subscribers over the last couple of days. And I've got a big video for you guys coming out about 9 o'clock tonight. So we're going to start doing daily content again. Going to be coming out at 9 o'clock. We are making big changes to the channel. We'll be talking about that with you later tonight. 812,000 followers on Twitter. Maybe I'll do a Twitter Spaces today. You guys go check us out there, doing big stuff. Pluto Alliance. Guys, We got big news for V1 holders coming very soon, a Pluto Alliance, but gotta wait till TJ gets back to make that big announcement. It will be this week. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, 435K, blowing up over there, BitBoy_crypto. And my personal dad jokes for the win. Took some pictures from the Super Bowl. That's me playing at live at the bike on the live stream. So that was really fun. There's me and my wife at the Super Bowl. Isn't she the best? So many people want to talk to her at the meetup. She really is the best. I got super lucky. But I want to show you guys this picture here. This is our new building. This is our new studio. Look at those signs. Woo. How about that? It is hot around here. So we still got a lot of stuff to do. The inside's not, any, it's basically, nothing like it's going to look like here in the future. So, but really excited. All right. And on TikTok, we had our TikTok hacked over the weekend. So our TikTok has been hacked. We've been indefinitely banned from TikTok. So we're trying to get that. We've got a police report coming. So a lot of people are saying, so thank you, Shannon, for that. My wife is beautiful. They're saying people got kicked out of YouTube. Is that true? I don't know what's going on there. So anyways, guys, let's check out the crypto markets. Let's move to Market Watch here. As we have 2.075 trillion in market cap, 81 billion in volume. Volume up volume's really actually down. Bitcoin dominant is now over 40% here on CoinGecko, which means it's probably at about 42% on CoinMarketCap, if I were to guess. ETH dominance 80, but look at that low Gwei. I mean, for only, what is that, 29.5 Paraguays, you can send an ETH transaction right now. So how about that, 29.5 Paraguays. Let's check out the price of Bitcoin coming in $44,235. Ethereum over 3,100. It is not an old mattress firm. It was Mountain Motorsports here in Kennesaw. Used to sell Polaris here is what it used to be.
Yamahas, Polaris, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be talking about Looks Rare a little bit later for you, Bill Brown. We got Binance Coin. Big news from Binance. Did you hear about this? They've renamed the Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of figured that was the move, right?
Yeah.
It was becoming more popular than coin.
So they basically got rid of the word Binance. It's now the BNB chain. It's no longer the BSC. So the BitBoy Mall. Yeah, that could be a good name. And guys, don't forget, do us a favor, smash that like button if you could. All you got to do, hit that like button. Number one thing you can do to help the community, all you got to do is X out of the chat. There's an X in the top right-hand corner. Hit the like button and then hit the live chat icon to come back. If you're watching on Smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, more actions, more options. Hit react and then like this video. Number one thing you can do as a member of the Bit Squad to make sure that you guys, the more people see these videos, and that's what we want, right?
Yep.
New cameras today. Can you guys tell we got new cameras today?
Looking good, man. You look crisp.
I look crisp. I look pretty good. I feel great, by the way. I feel like over the last couple of months, like I really had been getting a little burnout.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people could tell. I was definitely feeling burnout. First time ever in doing this channel that I felt burnout.
Yeah. Do you think being out in California, getting a little sunshine, fresh air with the wife, you guys had a nice couple days to just be yourself and do your thing? It was a good refresh?
It was good refresh, but that's not why I'm refreshed. I'm refreshed because I feel like we got new direction here. I feel like we got new direction. I know where we're going as a channel. I'm very excited. We're going to be talking about that tonight at about 9 o'clock. So very excited about that. I just feel like we're about to. Do you know that meme that's like that truck in Africa? Maybe it's Africa. That's got like so many people on it that it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about?
I do.
Like, and it's driving, like people are just falling off left and right because everybody's trying to get on the truck because it's taking them where they want to go. That's this channel. We're going to be that truck. And so super excited about that. So they said they can see every hair of mine. That's pretty good. Also saying I look slim. It's good. I gained a couple pounds while I was gone eating whatever I wanted, but just water weight. Sure, it'll be gone. XRP coming in 83 cents. We got Cardano $1.10. Got a Cardano story for you guys today. Solana back over $100. Let's check out the biggest gainers of the day. We got the Graph at 17.4%. Cadena with a 15.4% gain. It's up 8.3% for the week when a lot of stuff is down. Gala Games up. Convex Finance, Juno, Thorchain, Secret, Waves, Celsius up 9% for the week, doing pretty good. Polygon up 10% for the day, but down 10% for the week. It's not too great. Avalanche up 6.5% for the week, but down for the day. Let's check out the biggest gainers of the week. God, that smooth love potion.
I'll tell you what.
I wish I would never sold that. Like, we were talking about that like 2 years ago. That was a big mistake. What do you think about it?
It is what it is. It's a gaming token, right? It's for
Axie Infinity.
That's right, Axie Infinity.
Yeah, Axie Infinity.
I mean, that's in my world right now, where everything we're doing is metaverse.
Metaverse, metaverse.
You know it.
Elron, Leo token, Celsius, those are all up. Elron's up about 10%, so doing pretty well. So we certainly love that. All right, let's move on to the charts. Let's check out what's going on over here on the charts. Now, here's what I wanted to show you guys. A lot of people are starting to talk about this right here. I was talking to Freaky Candles before we went live here, talking about what is going on here with the market and what we could potentially be looking at. Now, this is the daily chart. So if you guys didn't understand, like when it comes to charts, the longer the time frame, the more accurate the information is. If you got some kind of formation on the 1 minute chart, it can play out and not really be that significant of a move. When you start getting into the 4 hour, the 6 hour, the 12 hour, starting to really get up there, the daily chart is one that you can definitely count on. It is one where the information is solid. The trends are solid. They take a long time to develop. Doesn't mean everything's going to play out the way that you think it's going to, but we got something really big here on the daily chart. If you go back and you look at, some of the biggest dumps we have had on this market, okay? You look at head and shoulders patterns, okay? You can look at this. Here is a shoulder. Here is a head. Here is a shoulder. And then look, you got that really, really, really big dump. You could kind of make the argument for this one as well. This could be a little bit of a shoulder. Here's a head, and then here's another shoulder. Not quite as exact as this one over here. You can look at this one. Here's a nice one, head, shoulder, dump. And these are bearish patterns, right? When we see these head and shoulders, they almost always will result in a large downswing here. But the opposite of that is an inverse head and shoulders. And an inverse head and shoulders pattern is something that is extremely, extremely, extremely bullish. And the question is, are we starting to see that inverted head and shoulders pattern here, where you get your shoulder right here, you get your head right here, and now are we seeing another shoulder? Is this going to result in really, really, really bullish action? I believe that the way that you measure these are from like the neckline, the head to the neckline. So in this case, the neckline would be about right here. So come down here to the wick, and then basically long and the short of it is you kind of get your target from going from the neckline to here. That put a target at about $60,000. So could we potentially see Bitcoin heading back to $60,000? Well, one thing is for sure here. One thing is for sure. We're going to have to cross back over 45,000. Remember a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the price of Bitcoin, and is this potentially a relief rally? Is this a rally very similar to what we had in 2018? I don't think this chart, is this the ByBit chart? No, it's Bitstamp. It does go back that far. Basically, if you go back to the 2018 bear market, you got this relief rally right here, okay? Now, eventually, we would get another relief rally, which would be right here. But this was the big relief rally from the top of the market. And people right here were saying, oh, the price is going to go up, price is going to go up. And it never did, unfortunately. The price actually ended up dumping from there, and we can see how low that it went. So what we're looking at potentially right now, are we looking at a relief rally for Bitcoin where this is going to end up eventually going down? Or is this something where we are going to get an upswing? And the question at this point is, can it get back above $45,000? We were targeting $46,000 as a price point for that relief rally. And unfortunately, as we see here a few days ago, the price got to $45,850. And then what happened? It dumped. That played out just like a relief rally would. But it seems like we've caught an equilibrium, a steady point here, and we could be back up on the way up. Now, here on the daily chart, on the momentum wave, as you guys can see here on Market Cipher B, we did just get a green dot. Now, we got a red dot a few days ago, and that played out exactly. So are we going to get this green dot play out and things to be heading back up? We're seeing a lot of positive signs. I really do believe that we are seeing a lot of positive signs here, and I do believe that, this is still touch and go. We are still very much in a 50% up, 50% down kind of scenario. I'm leaning more towards going up. I think this really solid hold above 42K, we went slightly below it, like 41.7 or something like that. But that basic hold in that support line of 42,000, then bouncing back up, I think that was really bullish, especially considering all the stuff we had going on. Now, I never bought into the idea of that we were going to see some massive Super Bowl pump. Y'all never heard me say that on this channel. I never told you I thought that was going to happen. Now, Super Bowl commercials are just not going to be enough to move the market. People already know about crypto. We got the crypto.com arena. We already have FTX everywhere when it comes to advertising and marketing. So it's some Super Bowl commercials, which, by the way, I missed all of them. I haven't seen a single one yet. I'm going to have to go watch some of them now that I'm back in town. It's just not going to be enough. It's not going to move the market at all. Really more of a top signal. I'd be concerned about Super Bowl commercials being a top signal. But the whole thing is the fact that we held, in spite of having this expedited Fed meeting, in spite of having all this stuff going on in Canada, we'll talk about in a little bit, in spite of having the Ukraine-Russian tensions, at an all-time high, I think that when it comes to, the price right now, I'm feeling bullish. I am feeling a little bit bullish today. Holding that 42,000 was really, really positive. I was expecting it probably to go below 40K. It didn't even get close to it. So it still could have gone down to like 39.5 and still remain really, really bullish. If we go back to where we were a month ago, when we were down, well, not quite a month ago, but about 3 weeks ago, where we were down in the low 30s, I think we would take where we are at now. And if you really look at, this here, and you were to take a look just from the top of this down to here, we're very clearly in an uptrend, in a slight breakout here. And guys, I'll tell you, until we go below 29,500, it's hard to say we're in a downtrend. It really is. It's hard to say we're in a long-term downtrend until we were to reach those numbers. And right now, Bitcoin doesn't really show a lot of reasons to believe it's going to hit those numbers. So just kind of taking a look at some other kind of charts for Bitcoin, take a look at the Puel multiple. This is a really good indicator when it comes to, top of the market. You go back in 2017, 2018, you can see we peaked out over here. We've seen nothing like this over here. And, it's been on a very, very, very steady decline, and the price is climbing back up. Are we going to see this Puel multiple start heading back up? That's one thing we're going to need to see. We are going to need to see this heading back up towards this red zone. That's going to be a positive thing. Then this here is the percent of addresses in profit. Right now, we're at about 75%. 75% of all Bitcoin addresses are in profit now. Generally, when we start approaching those red numbers, we get price dumps. We got up into here in the red zone. You'll see back here in May, in April, we got the big dump. See what happened in November? We got the big dump. Now it looks like we're starting to climb back up. And one of the really interesting things is the way these charts operate in regards to the larger price action. Like if you go look at the Newpol, for instance, if you look at the Newpol when it touches the blue and where the price is, they don't really have a lot to do with one another. Where what's really exciting for Bitcoin one year when Bitcoin hits 20K and everybody's in euphoria, now if Bitcoin hit 20K, everyone would be in depression, So really seeing the progression of how these charts work with the price is some more really interesting stuff. So let's check out what came out yesterday. This is the Shared National Credit Program. This is a first and third quarter review. This is from the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve. Now, they did this expedited meeting. I'm going to lay out a theory to you guys that I cannot prove to be true at all, but something I've been thinking about, okay? Yesterday, they had this expedited meeting, and basically nothing came out of it. If you come here to the summary and look at what they did, now this was not a public meeting. They voted specifically for this not to be public. So there you go. There's a clue. Something weird was going on. But the summary of results basically all has to do with credit risk. That's what they're talking about in the impact of the pandemic. What I thought was really interesting here is they say that improvement in oil and gas is partially offset by year-over-year weakening in commercial real estate, particularly in the hotel, office, and retail subsectors. So when it comes to what's going on with real estate, you're not getting new hotels. People aren't traveling as much. You're not getting new office buildings. Why? Because people are working from home. And then retail, do I even have to explain that? Y'all see all the retail closures everywhere? It's just so sad to me when you look at, what happens on, like the Atlanta airport. You go to the Atlanta airport, there are stores that literally closed down during the pandemic that never have reopened. They're all sitting there, all the merchandise in there, or restaurants, all the equipment still in there, never reopened. So very, very, very sad stuff going on there. But basically what they're talking about is they're still trying to find the direction of risk and how success works with this when it comes to trying to map out the pandemic. They're still trying to use this language around the pandemic to make people think that, we're still in this pandemic and it's still really bad. You go out to California, these people are so brainwashed, unfortunately. They don't understand that in the South, we've been living totally normal since April of 2020, basically. Like, basically 2 months after the pandemic, we were basically back to normal here, basically back to normal in Florida with a very few exceptions. And you got these poor people out there that still think that if you, put your mask under your nose, that everybody's going to die. And unfortunately, we know that's just not true. If you look at the numbers state per state, there's not a lot of stuff that people have really done that has affected those numbers. The government, though, has got to continue the money printing. So they're continuing this tired rhetoric. We're on Fed Update, by the way. This tired rhetoric around trying to tweak things around the pandemic. Now, here's what I believe. We have this update here. You can go ahead and move to Russia FUD. We have this update. Putin says Russia is partially pulling back troops from around Ukraine. Now, I want you guys to notice when this was made, 54 minutes ago. I tend to believe that yesterday's expedited Fed meeting could potentially be, now this is just a theory, could potentially be them backing off of rate hikes based on the tension between Russia and Ukraine. All of a sudden now today we get this news that they're pulling back troops. I told you guys, I want you guys to remember what I told you on this channel. We were never going to see war between Ukraine and Russia. Like, how stupid is that? You think Russia is really going to invade Ukraine and try to take it over when you have all these countries that are saying we're not going to let that happen? Russia does not want a major military conflict. They don't want this. So this narrative that there was high tension could have possibly played a factor in yesterday's Fed meeting, maybe prevented them from making a rate hike. Maybe that's what they decided and we weren't able to see that. And then that's going to come out later. This could have been playing into that whole thing. We've already had articles that have been out saying that, potentially the Russia and Ukraine conflict could push inflation out much further. Thank you, Allison. Allison got pulled over in my vehicle a little bit ago. Oh, gosh. Oh, was I not supposed to say that? Oh, she said it's okay. Did you get a ticket? How fast were you going? You got a ticket for talking to somebody on the phone?
Man.
You should have just plugged it up to the... Gosh, she's so great, isn't she? She takes a ticket for the boss. Thank you, Allison. We appreciate you. Throaty Cody. I thought he was going to say FUD meeting. Could potentially be FUD meeting. Of March? Yeah. Well, so BJ's telling us right now that they're potentially not going to raise the rates till March 10th, 15th. Their bond buying schedule ends on the 10th, and they've already said they're not going to raise rates until after they stop buying, after they stop adding assets to the Treasury. So we'll see what happens with that, but a lot of stuff going on around the Fed here. We do have Putin saying they're pulling the troops back. Is this going to affect things? Look, the Fed wants world world chaos, because that allows them to keep the money printer going. Do you know who above all other people wants the money to keep printing? The tech stocks, your Elon Musk, your Mark Zuckerbergs, your Netflix CEO. I don't even know who he is. Your YouTube CEO. All of these people, or your Alphabet CEO. They want the money printing to keep going because that's the only thing that has propped up those stocks. Those stocks are so overvalued that it is insane. So is Russia going to, play a factor here? But now, are we also seeing here crypto markets shake off Russian invasion fears? Now that this whole Russia-Ukraine thing is dialing back, are we going to see the price of Bitcoin and the price of the regular markets start to run again? Markets do not like instability. The Fed likes instability because they're able to keep the money printing going, but the investor likes security. They like knowing that things are not going to change. Obviously, it is a new, better camera. That is true. But obviously, we saw that with the pandemic, right? When there was instability and people didn't know what was happening, prices tanked. As soon as we caught an equilibrium and there was a plan and, they released all the stuff about the stimulus, things started moving back up. And so we're just still, this is why I still say we're in a 50-50 kind of zone here for Bitcoin, because we don't really know the direction of where the world is heading to right now. We really don't know. We're starting to get some clues. We have Russia pulling out. We're going to have to see what happens with the Fed rate hike. But, now we have some instability in Canada, which we'll get to here in just a little bit. No more BTC. We got Bitcoin exchange reserves crashing to a 3-year low. 3-year low. Is this bullish? Glassnode, let me get rid of this here. I can't. There it is. Glassnode has shared data indicating the Bitcoin supply on exchanges has dropped to a 3-year low. And now this is very important, especially when we talk about the SOPR and the short-term holder charts that we've been looking at recently. What this means is when you got low exchange rates for Bitcoin, when you have a low amount of Bitcoin out there, what that means is the longer-term holders have really been gobbling up the supply. They're not going to sell. The liquidity comes from the short-term holders. So that's really how you have this relationship between, the exchange amounts of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin price. It doesn't mean that we're automatically going to see, prices turn around and shoot up to the moon, but it does mean over long term, it's pretty bullish. People love this string here.
Yeah, your tea bag string.
The tea bag. We're teabagging live on stream here.
Do you think that that's going to drive a lot of the economy as the crypto market matures more, right? You're going to have your hodlers, your retail investors, and that's why it's dried up, because people are just holding. They're like, all right, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to deal with this. It's the institutional investors that are going to do more flipping, causing that liquidity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and we've got Michael Saylor coming on for an interview today. We're going to be interviewing Michael Saylor. And I think the interesting thing is, you're getting more and more people into Bitcoin that are really understanding this long-term mindset. And the short-term sellers are the ones that lose. The people that come in, stay for a little bit and sell, they're generally losing, while the people gobbling them up for the longer term are winning. Like, think about if you sold around $35,000 because you were scared. You thought prices were going to go down. We thought prices had a good chance of going down, but we didn't make that move because I'm more scared to sell than I am to let prices drop and it bounce back up, because we know where things are going. The sellers run out of ammunition. And so when we look at numbers that Bitcoin has historically dropped to percentage-wise when it comes to these bear markets, that's because you come in and you get a lot of people at the top that have a lot of liquidity that are willing to sell their Bitcoin. But we're just not seeing that right now. We're seeing Bitcoin disappearing off exchanges to go into the dark night, into the great abyss of the long-term holder bags. And they're not coming back into the supply. So I would say, I think that is where the liquidity comes from, or from these short-term sellers. But they're losing. They're losing over time. So we have someone saying Ukraine reports cyber attack on defense ministry website. I mean, I certainly, wouldn't put that past the Russians. But Bitcoin exchange reserves face a major decline. Reserves of the flagship crypto. I hate when they say the flagship digital currency. It sounds so stupid. The reserves 2.5 million Bitcoin. That's it. So about 15% of the Bitcoin supply. But if you really know how many Bitcoin are actually gone, it's actually less than that. Probably closer to about 11 or 12% of the total supply is now being actually less than that. So it would be 1/7. No, it'd be more than that. So still about 15%. Maybe my math was off on the earlier number, but about 15% of the supply is liquid, and that's it. That's 300 fewer coins since February 13th, which shows that it's dropping pretty considerably. I mean, 300 coins is how much? 300 times, 45,000. Let's just call it. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. I'm not going to do that math. I mean, I think that's like 1 point. No.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. 300 Bitcoin, like $6 million, $7 million, somewhere around there. Bitcoin balance on exchanges just reached a 3-year low. So look, Sentiment seeing bullish sign for Bitcoin. We check out Sentiment from time to time. Had a mild decline over the weekend, but Saturday was the highest amount of active addresses recorded in 2022. So it's a nice sign of increased utility, a predecessor to price rises. So right here, they're telling you usually when we see this uptick in transactions, we do see prices rise. Not always though. I mean, but this is just since, when is this? This is just since November. So this is basically all on a downswing here. So not really super accurate. Bloomberg analysts cite bullish implications for Bitcoin Ethereum as markets see historic upsurge. Bloomberg is most bullish for Bitcoin Ethereum, right? Why would you not be? Those are the best. Their overall market utility is cited as a driving factor. Ethereum remains key beneficiary of the increased use of stablecoins. So somebody that said there will be by the end of this year, that there is a $12,000 Ethereum. Wouldn't that be great if we saw a $12,000 Ethereum
by the end of this year?
Yeah, and one of my researchers said that's mega bearish.
Yikes!
That's
like it's going to be a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, math is hard. Math is hard when you're talking about giant numbers. 45,000 times 300. So 45,000 times 100 would be.
It's 13.5 million.
I guess it's closer to 10.
13.5 million.
Yeah,
I used a calculator. Full disclosure.
Thanks. You used a calculator. I didn't. So I was just basing that off of how much Bitcoin I thought I had and what the price is. I just show you how clueless I am about our portfolio right now. So we'll do a portfolio update video fairly soon, maybe in the next month or two. So
you just stole one of the Q&A questions, by the way.
I did. Yeah, you guys make sure to put your Q&A questions in for a little bit later when we will do those. So the birthday cake bang is so friggin' delish. I do not like the birthday cake bang. In the beginning, I used to like those kinds of flavors. The birthday cake, the rainbow unicorn, the cotton candy. Those were what I drank solely in the beginning. But now I don't like any of those. I like the sour heads, the blue raz, Froze Rose's one I like pretty good. The purple haze, I've always loved the purple.
Wild and watermelon is really good.
Wild watermelon is good. It's a good flavor. I agree.
Subtle.
TJ's mom created the Miami Cola flavor. You guys may not know that. That's true. They say I have jet lag. I do not have jet lag. I'm fine. I got a lot of sleep last night. I feel great. The proliferation of crypto dollars is an indication of the increasing dominance of digital assets with bullish implications for the greenback, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. This was a Bloomberg report. Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto dollars comprise 70% of the total crypto market cap. Purging 2021's excesses may continue, but we expect the market cap of these three stalwarts to just keep going up. Dustin Rose says, Inside Guy update. I haven't heard anything about almost a month now, so we'll see what happens. I'm sure he'll come to me when he's got, some interesting stuff going on. But no, I haven't heard from him about as long as I've ever gone without hearing from him. So we'll see what happens. We got Bitcoin bull Tom Lee still sees 200K by year end. A highlight risk to the price target. And I don't think there's anything more bearish today than this story. The reason is Tom Lee has been talking about a $200,000 Bitcoin since 2018. It's coming this year. It's coming this year. So here we are. Here he is again. Tom Lee was a meme in 2018, 2019, as he just kept saying bull market's still here as we were deep in the depths of a bear market. So
how do you think it was for him, like kind of during his come up? Like, because you got Tommy Lee, who's like an American, he's just a bad dude, right? And you're like, I'm Tom Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to mistake this guy for Tommy Lee.
No,
they got a new series coming out on Hulu.
I saw that.
Yeah, here's some prosthetics involved. I don't think I'm going to be watching. I'm not too interested in the
not at all.
Pam and Tommy Lee story at all. I mean, get it in the name of it, like the greatest love story ever. Something like they're not even together still.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what a good love story is? Huh. People that are still together.
That's a great point.
You know,
it's not so common these days.
You go to dad jokes for the win, and you see, look at this. Me and my wife, still together.
That's
still
wholesome.
Together after all these years.
That's amazing.
We've been married now for 12 years in December. It will be 12. Wait, is that right? 2009. No, it'd be 13 years. We just celebrated 12 years. So
you got to be careful when you start trying to do the math.
They know, and the math on this stream is pretty tough. So guys, we had so many people at our meetup too. Big shout out to everybody. You guys, we had 600 chairs at the meetup. I don't know if you guys can tell. Standing room only. Standing room only. We had more than 600 people there. Big shout out to everybody who showed up at our meetup. Somebody said my inside guy's Tom Lee. I want to know from you guys, what's the next place we should do a meetup? I think we're going to do a local Atlanta one next. But then after that, we had some people saying Chicago.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
my
Chicago.
Old stomping grounds.
That's where you're from, actually.
Dude, check this out. I got my Cubbies hat on today.
Look at that.
I'd learned that pitchers and catchers are not going to report until this kind of beef is squaddled.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be like tomorrow for the Cubs and Thursday for the Braves.
Big shout out to the Braves. They're your World Series champions, as you guys know. We love that. Anyways, Tom Lee saying he expects Bitcoin to surpass $200,000 by the end of 2022. Would be nice. He's doubling down on his ambitious projection for 2022. Look, guys, I'm no longer in the business. San Diego, Canada. Will the truckers let me in? Truckers, will you let me into Canada? We'll have to see after we talk about this story today. Cincinnati, I've done some stuff in Cincinnati before. Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando, Miami, Charlotte. Dude, definitely want to do one in Charlotte. I do want to do one in Charlotte.
That'd be fun. We should just get a bus wrapped and do a U.S. world tour.
One day. That's down the road. We'll do that at some point.
Bear market.
We want like the Madden. Are we in the bear market? We want like the Madden bus, with the Bit bus. The Bit bus.
I remember that.
We did something called the Bit bus once. God, they killed us for that. Nobody wants to ride the bus with a bunch of influencers. You know what? I've met a lot of great people on that bus. I still talk to this day.
Yep.
So, Charlie Lee has not been close to any call he's ever made. No, actually, Charlie Lee called the exact top of the market in 2017. Tom Lee, Bob Lee, not so much. So, done some stuff in Cincy. What I meant by that is I did, Crypto Crow had a conference Chainwise, so we did some stuff up there. Nobody knew who I was back then, though. That was really, that conference was kind of the kickoff of people starting to know who I was a little bit. Had a really great speech I gave at that conference. It was supposed to make it to YouTube, but it never did. So, look, I would love to go to Canada. I like Canada pretty good. Maybe we should do a Canada meetup at some point. Destin, Florida. I'm coming to Destin, Florida, actually. That will be early June, I think. My son has a baseball tournament down there, so probably won't be doing I don't know, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Ukraine. I saw.
Ukraine?
Yeah, let's go to Ukraine.
Democrat lawmaker unveils bill crypto regulation here that would define boundaries for stablecoin market. I thought this was a really fascinating article here because really what he lays out in this is saying that qualified stablecoins for regulation could be issued either by an federally backed bank or a non-bank that agrees to maintain at least 100% reserve assets consisting of U.S. dollars, U.S. debt, or any other assets the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency seems appropriate cash collateral. The point is, they have to have exactly $1 US in their account compared to the amount of stablecoins they have. Tether used to say they had this, but then they got a bunch of money stolen and they had to change the wording to, no, we have assets that back it, but not actual US dollars. So what does that mean? That means, hey, if we print out 20 million Tether grants or Tether coins, and we have a $20 million yacht, then we got the assets to cover it. We don't have the cash. We got a yacht that we could sell it. That's basically what Tether says. So to become federally allowable, you would have to have the one-to-one. The question is this meant to assassinate Tether? If this comes out with as many new Tether grants as they've printed over the last year, is it even possible for Tether to come up with the one-to-one amount of dollars? What do you think?
Ooh, that's going to be tough. I doubt it. I doubt they got that much liquidity.
I think it's pretty much impossible. I think this could be how the Coinbase dollar takes over and Tether ultimately falls outside the jurisdiction of the United States. And people in the United States are not allowed to trade Tether on exchanges like Coinbase. They would have to remove it. So Tether can show how to balance books. Yeah, they know how to balance them, all right.
Cook them.
So anyway, there's some interesting stuff going on with stablecoins. A Democratic lawmaker, you guys remember we are seeing this thing. This is not super bearish for Democrats to be in charge of this kind of regulation. It doesn't bother me, but we are seeing more and more of this. Bitcoin is alt-right. You guys remember, I've been telling you guys this for months and months and months. This is coming. And if you use Bitcoin, you're alt-right. We're going to see that stuff when it comes to Canada here in just a second. And I just really have a warning to Democratic lawmakers out there, not to Josh Gottheimer. I don't think what he's saying here is terribly bad, but you do not want to be on the wrong side of history and shape crypto up to be a left versus right situation, because you will lose. There's really nothing that kind of fits the liberal mindset better of balancing wealth in the United States or in the world than crypto. Right? There's definitely things about crypto that fit libertarian, that fit conservative, and fit liberal policies and ideals. And hey, when it comes to, wanting to balance wealth around the world, there's no greater, wealth redistribution tool than crypto. We see it. It got distributed to me, for sure. I didn't have money. So we certainly see that redistribution. So it should be something that Democrats should be for and not against. And if it shapes up to be this policy, I spoke to someone when I was out in California who's in the know with politics, and he's telling me that this is getting to be a talking point. Bitcoin is alt-right. Bitcoin is alt-right. You're going to see this more and more and more. This is not something you want your politicians pushing. So definitely something that we need to try to stop. I don't want to see this become a political issue. If this does become a political issue, I'm on the side of Bitcoin. Just know that. But I'm hoping that we can prevent that from happening. So will this apply to algorithmic stablecoins? I am not sure. That's a great question. So Rafael Cruz, I don't know who that is. Who's Rafael Cruz? Do you know?
No. Are you looking him up?
Is it Ted Cruz's father? Ted Cruz's father.
Is it?
Oh, he's saying that's Ted Cruz's name is Rafael. We discovered that last week. It's Ted Cruz. He's talking about Ted Cruz.
Oh, wow.
He goes by Ted, but his name is Raphael. His dad's name's Raphael as well. But okay, all right, moving on here. We got the Bank of Russia and Finance Ministry failing to reach a deal. Crypto Meet. We've been talking about this for a long time, about how, first Russia was bearish, then they were bullish. Well, the Bank of Russia and the Ministry of Finance are holding opposing views on how to deal with the emerging asset class. So we don't exactly know yet where they're going to fall on this. They've not resolved their agreements on how to regulate the class. But Putin has shown interest in crypto mining and asked the government and central bank to, reach an agreement. So we'll see. We'll have to see what happens when it comes here. But no agreement was made. And we also have Hungary now. Hi, Hungary, I'm dad. Their central bank boss is now cracking the whip on crypto, saying it's a big priority as well. So we got some Eastern European stuff coming out about crypto. His name is György Matolcsy. He's the governor of Hungary's central bank, has come out in support of the crypto trading and mining ban. So you got these countries looking like idiots, saying that they, do not want, crypto going forward. Someone said, is this Janet Yellen's sister? Where's old Janet no-telling Yellen been? I don't know where she's been lately. But now let's talk about Canada, guys. guys. This is a doozy. Do you know what's going on in Canada right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of craziness going on. Obviously, the thing with the truckers, but what's the new movement that has to do with? Go for it. Tell us.
So here's the deal. Okay, you're seeing a lot of people talking about Canada has come out against crypto. Canada is saying they're going to seize your crypto, and I got people nervous about this. I have people in my life who they're just not. I saw Guy Fieri in at the Super Bowl. By the way, his suite was right up above where we were sitting. But the point here is this: I have people in my life. They're just newer to crypto, and they've been in for a year, 2 years now, but they still get spooked when they see stories like this. They get nervous. They say, "Could Biden do this?" This story has so little to do with crypto. It's insane. It is not Bitcoin that Justin Trudeau is going after. It's crowdfunding platforms, okay? They're trying to go after GoFundMe and prevent them from, or whatever platform it is, that they crowdfunded Bitcoin. They're trying to prevent them from sending this Bitcoin to truckers. Now, look, I'm not from Canada. Very proud of that. No offense, Canadians. We love you. But look, I'm not from Canada. I've been to Canada a few times. I'm going to speak about this as much and as well informed as I can from someone who doesn't live there. This is what's going on in Canada. You have these truckers who are saying that they are boycotting delivering stuff. They are running blockades. They're preventing stuff from being delivered. This is all over pandemic mandates. The people in Canada are tired of being told how to live. The people in Canada understand the severity of the pandemic on a scale of 1 to 10. They understand where it is in reality. The government always tries to push it like it's a 10. Why? Because they are so concerned with stifling your rights. This is not about, let me give you a great, for instance. Let me tell you about the Super Bowl, okay? Super Bowl, NFL required the Super Bowl in Los Angeles, California. You are required to either have the jab in a card or take a test, a PCR test, within 48 hours to verify you did not have the pandemic disease so you could go to the Super Bowl. Went to the Super Bowl, went to the gate, pulled out my necessary documentation to show them so I could get into the game. My wife had done that as well. They never asked for it. The people at the gates never asked for any documentation regarding what was all over the NFL website that you had to do to get into that game. Why? Because it is all a joke. It is all a joke. It is a dog and pony show. The government does not care whether or not you received a jab. The government cares about whether you will do what they say or not. That's what they care about. This is all about pushing boundaries. It's all about pushing boundaries. And that's what Canada is doing right now. Justin Trudeau has invoked their, the 1988 Emergencies Act. What this will allow them to do is seize the bank accounts of anyone they seem fit to take. So what they're going to try to do here in reality is they are going to try to get the accounts of the crowdsourcing platforms, okay? That includes crypto. If crypto is included in those accounts, then they're going to try to seize it. Now, will they actually be able to seize the Bitcoin? Well, if the Bitcoin has been placed in an escrow by the crowdsourcing platform, then yes, they will be able to get it. If the Bitcoin was on a hot wallet or a cold storage wallet, would they be able to get it? Absolutely not, right? So it all has to do with however the platform has it set up. And so Justin Trudeau, which if you're in Canada and you voted for this guy, you should just go ahead and bury yourself because you're an idiot. I don't know. I can't understand why you would vote for someone who continually tries to take more and more and more rights away from you. I don't know. Was Bullwinkle running against him? You against mooses? Is this the problem? Are you so vegan that you want a moose in? I don't know. What I'll tell you is he is trying to push it here. They are trying to label people who do not want to fit in with their mandates terrorists. You are a terrorist if you do not put on a mask. You are a terrorist if you go outside of your house and you're not supposed to. You are a terrorist if you will not take the jab. This is ridiculous. These are people in this country, and they're using an Emergencies Act that was meant to be able to stop terrorism, to stop people from exercising their own freedoms in their own country. And it is extremely, extremely sad to me. Somebody said, I'm not going to get into that. But the fact is that, let's go Brando. They're saying Brando, like Brando, so they're putting E-A-U at the end. That's pretty funny.
The Ottawa police chief just resigned.
The Ottawa police chief just resigned. There's tons of protests going on in Ottawa. You would think at some point that maybe the country would say, maybe we've gone a little too extreme here. Maybe we need to dial it back. Instead, what do? They press forward. They want the control. This is all about control. This has never been more obvious. Guys, we're at the end of this pandemic. Have y'all noticed? Have y'all noticed? Go look at the death numbers. We're at the end of this. Okay? This is going away. This is now the cold. Even the CDC has came out and said stuff supporting that theory. I've been telling you guys that for 3 months, that by March, this would all be over. The state of California is lifting their pandemic restrictions, including masks indoors, with the exception of LA County, who has said they're going to keep it on. The only place in California. Those are getting lifted this week. Guys, travel restrictions will be lifted in March. This is over. Yet Canada is trying its best to one last push against their own people. And it's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. This is where revolutions come from. If you're in Canada, I would be part of them protests. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the chat for the last little bit since you started talking about this. People are saying, I can't believe this. I'm disgusted to be Canadian. Like, this is absolutely insane what's happening.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting what's happening. And now it's affecting crypto in a roundabout way. I want people to understand, Canada cannot take your Bitcoin. The United States cannot take your Bitcoin. Now, if you have your Bitcoin sitting on a public exchange account, then there are probably ways they could go in through Coinbase and take your crypto. But if you have a hot wallet or a cold storage wallet, if you have a wallet where you have the private keys, no one can take your crypto. There's nothing possible that would allow them to take your crypto. They cannot take it by force. Literally impossible. If they could take your crypto or your Bitcoin by force, then that means all Bitcoin can be hacked. They cannot take it by force. It's literally impossible. You have to give them the keys to take your crypto. That's why it's so important to understand custody and to understand ownership of Bitcoin and understand ownership of crypto. Because when you understand this, then you see scare stories like this that are meant to scare you, like, hey, they can just take your crypto, and you can shove them because you know it's not fact. When you've been in crypto for long enough to understand these concepts, then you're a wily old veteran. And you understand why in the short term people freak out over things that long term don't matter at all. And this is one of those things. This is much more an indictment on, Canadian or Canada's government coming after your freedom than it is on crypto and Bitcoin. So crowdsourcing platforms, look, they're subject to the law in their countries for sure. And if they get their account seized, it is what it is. So there you go. There's your story on Canada. Let's move on. Let's talk about NFTs. Can they take it if it's staked? From Jamie Lynn. I would say if it depends on where you stake it. If you're staking on a decentralized platform, absolutely not. If you're staking it on something like BlockFi or something like Celsius, it's centralized. You don't have the private keys. If you don't have the private keys, then there are workarounds for governments to come around the back door through the platforms, work with the platforms to get your crypto. Now, look, it's an unlikely scenario. Unlikely that Celsius or BlockFi would cooperate easily, but there are situations where they would be forced to cooperate through, a court of law. So depending on where you have it staked, there you go. All right, New York Stock Exchange files a Metaverse trademark for trading NFTs, and I thought this was really fascinating, and I'll tell you why. We've been talking about what NFTs are, and of course they're collectibles, right? But one day they're going to be much, much, much bigger and do many, many, many more things. A new application filed on the 10th says that the New York Stock Exchange has plans to trademark NYSE for NFTs, cryptocurrencies, digital collectibles, and marketplaces to trade and exchange them. This filing is the latest confirmation that the metaverse is real and businesses need to plan accordingly. Businesses no longer need to wonder if it's going to happen, just a matter of when. And then we have this. Yeah, that's strange. Looks like some devil horns there. A three-eyed devil. The New York Stock Exchange is clearly taking a proactive, forward-thinking approach to ensure that it is leading the financial exchange in the metaverse. Now, Justin.
Yes, Ben.
You're the meta money guy. You guys make sure to check out, if you go to BitBoy Crypto, you go to our main channel, scroll down here to awesome channels. You guys see Meta Money right here. The Meta Money still under the New Money Gang banner. Ultimately, that's the name of the company. That's why we have it on those sign outside. But Meta Money, that's what y'all do. Y'all talk about making money in the metaverse.
That's correct.
I want to get your take on this because I know I have a very interesting take. Thank you, Jimmy Boyd, for the super chat there. I've got an interesting take on this, but what is your take on how the New York Stock Exchange filing for a metaverse trademark fits into the world of metaverse?
Well, it's really interesting, right? I mean, because you got to think, one, those guys screwed up the financial system very badly. Wall Street, the stock market. I mean, that was my whole thing with getting those kind of investors into crypto in the first place, was because they've ruined the last system. Why would you want them in here? Yeah, we want their money. That's all we want. We want the whales that can make that big of a splash. It's inevitable. They have the money to make whatever they want possible. Now, however, I say that, and then you think of companies like Facebook or Meta that couldn't get their crypto off the ground, that I think is going to flop pretty hard in the metaverse,
Yeah.
right?
I agree.
So with that being said, these traditional investment, they said they want to lead the financial exchange of the metaverse. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that they have enough digitalization of their product to enable that. Right now, at least, I think crypto companies are light years ahead as far as where they are. That's
good. That's a good take. I want to give you we talked about this before we went on air. Like, this is what I'm wondering here. Will we see stocks tradable as NFTs in the metaverse?
Wow. That would change the game, right?
Because an NFT is a digital certificate of ownership, right? So if you take that digital ownership of a certain amount of shares, let's just say it's one share in a company, you're able to move that to the metaverse. Whoever owns that NFT has the right to that share.
I mean, that's a game changer.
Getting around synthetic assets. Now you're getting around synthetic assets, and another thing is, you talk about fractionalized NFT ownership, which is something the SEC has said they're not too keen on. How does that fit with that? We don't know, but yeah. So, anyways, very interesting stuff there. But we also have this Vesta Equity launching a real estate-backed NFT platform on Algorand. We're very bullish on Algorand. We do love what Algorand is doing. It is a long-term hold for us. We're definitely not ever getting rid of our Algorand. We think it's going to be really big. Now you're starting to see some companies working with them that have a lot going on. They've launched a real estate-backed NFT platform. I think watching and observing the way that NFTs are going to, work in the future when it comes to real estate is very, very interesting. Think about these big ideas we're talking about. We're talking about real estate, New York Stock Exchange. We're talking about all these different types of major niches out there running over here to, NFTs and metaverse and what this is going to look like. So this move comes amid a boom in the housing market, which more houses are being built now than in the peak of the 2008 housing bubble. What does that mean? There's more people. We know that, but, maybe not a good sign. Today marks the launch of Vesta Equity, a real estate investment company with a twist. The platform builds itself as the world's first peer-to-peer marketplace for real estate-backed NFT assets. It allows homeowners who have bought their property outright to sell off a portion of it as a tokenized, fractionalized NFT, which is packaged as a security. CEO Michael Carpentier, who began working on the concept a little over 2 years ago, says the advantage of the model is that you can access the value of your home without having to remortgage it or sell it. It means an investor anywhere in the world can theoretically benefit from the appreciating value of real estate if prices rise. I thought this was really interesting, basically talking about the NFT and real estate sector, how they're both getting really big and really popular right now. Is this going to continue? Is this a chance to kind of merge the two? Very, very, very interesting to see what's going to happen here with this. But it's not all good in the NFT world. We have counterfeit NFTs resulting in marketplace suspension. The NFT platform famous for minting Jack Dorsey's first tweet has halted NFT operations amid counterfeiting and illicit activity calls. Rampant issues relating to minting counterfeit non-fungible tokens or NFTs have forced popular platforms Cent to halt some operations. People in this space tend to cry caveat emptor or buyer beware. We're protecting creators from those who might steal or abuse their work, and protecting buyers from potential fraud is also very important. So it's hard to know exactly who owns what. That's why we need these. Michael Saylor is coming on for an interview later today. We'll be releasing that in 2 parts, tomorrow and Thursday. So we've got a list of questions from the Bit Squad. So we're going to be asking a lot of the questions you guys want to know. Now, I do know, I think it was Will Clement said that he had a list of 24 questions for Michael Saylor, and in 2 hours he got to 3 of them. So you guys know he does love to talk, but we'll try to keep him as on target as we can. Cardano increasing incentives for white hat hackers. Basically, they're going to be giving away bounties if you're interested in that. They're going to be giving hackers up to $20,000 for discovering critical Cardano node security flaws, and earning $15,000 for Cardano Pockets security flaws. So big news there for Cardano. The Looks Rare team, a lot of people are upset about this. We just kind of go through some crypto quickies here. Looks Rare official team cashed out $30 million worth of Ethereum, and the community gets mad. Look, community gets mad whenever people make money. I mean, that's just a fact, because, and you understand why, because look, everybody's not making money every single day in crypto. Over long term, you definitely win. But when you're, when you bought an NFT and you're upside down, and then the platform you bought the NFT on is cashing out, then, that's not something you really want to see. They have confirmed they cashed out $30 million worth of ETH, which made the community furious. Let's see. Here's how the marketplace managed to make a large sum without stealing any users' funds. Well, they made money. They have a profit strategy. I mean, it's not, it's nothing super secretive. They already said they did wash trading to make sure that they got the numbers and the volume up to where the site was popular. And I think that's really the big question is, should they have been admitting that? According to the official fee structure, team of the project has obtained millions of dollars of wrapped ETH rewards by staking Looks tokens. So they were stacking their own tokens. Most of it going straight to Tornado Cash. That's bad. That's the biggest mixer on the internet right now. 10,500. They have 10 full-time team members. They cashed out over 1,050 ETH per person. That's a lot of money for staff members. Just saying. Would you like it if I cashed that much out for you, Justin? You want 1,050 ETH?
I mean, 1,049 is good.
Okay, cool.
Cut you a break.
YouTube hiring for a director to lead Web3 push. We do know they're getting into NFTs and Metaverse. Gemini client IRA financial hack for $36 million in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Very interesting. I'm sure that the funds will be returned. The Winklevi can afford it, but that's certainly not good. There's an IRA that was hacked from Gemini. And then crypto miners exempt from IRS reporting rules. And this is as they are preparing appropriate regulations for miners. So that's the big thing there. There is regulation for miners coming soon. We don't know exactly when that is going to be. But all right, well, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's move on to Q&A.
Perfect. Now, you did answer a lot of the questions kind of as they came in.
Okay.
But we got a couple in here. First one comes from Marcel6666. When portfolio update, you did touch on that earlier in the stream, but if you got...
We'll try to do one in the next 1 to 2 months. I hate showing the portfolio when it's down so much.
Well,
update, we lost money. Maybe we should.
Why,
Maybe that's why we should do it.
Remember, in your new intro today, you talked about being the people's champion.
We are the people's channel for sure. No question about that.
So that's why, even though in a bear market, you're still willing to do that.
Yeah.
Or when it's down. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Stop getting wrecked. Listen to Richard Hart. That's a comment over there.
All right. Talk about BlockFi interest changes, limiting deposits into interest accounts, etc.
Well, we had big BlockFi news over the week. We missed it because we were out of town here, but they paid $100 million to the SEC in a fine, which is really a drop in the bucket for them. I mean, they accidentally sent more money than that to people one time. But you know, I think that you know, one thing we're going to continue to see, stablecoin regulation. We saw, you know, a Democratic you know, legislator today talking about this, is that we're going to see limits on staking for stablecoins. It's just coming, as a matter of fact. I'm telling you guys this for months and months and months. If you can stake stablecoins right now and get big returns, you should be doing it because time is going to run out there. That is something that is definitely going to be targeted. So, you know, I think that, you know, generally we're going to see BlockFi and we're going to see Celsius. We're going to see them changing a lot of what they offer when it comes to stable coins. You want to, you know, stake Bitcoin, stake Ethereum. I think those rates are still going to be able to be the same. The U.S. government does not want risk-averse investors moving from treasury bonds to stablecoin staking, and that's what they're going to be preventing. So look for big changes there.
But when we want mass adoption, when are we going to stand up? When are companies like BlockFi? I mean, because we saw XRP stand up to the SEC. When's a company like BlockFi going to be like, you know what, man? Nah, we're not paying. We're going to give the people what they want, not what you want.
Yeah, they'll have to get shut down. If they're an American company, we're not going to see it. We're not going to see it. If BlockFi said that, then the U.S. government would shut them down and arrest their CEO. Yeah. So for securities violations. So you don't have a choice. When the SEC comes knocking, you don't have a choice. Yeah. That's why, you know, you see a lot of people are remaining anonymous. Now we don't like anonymous people in crypto because generally those are your scammers. Your scammers most often, doesn't mean they're all bad. Some are doing it for good reasons, but you know, you see the Uniswap Labs team, you know, they're in big trouble with the SEC. So you just don't have a choice when the SEC comes. You can have your servers offshore, but if you're an American, they're definitely going to be coming after you. So unfortunately, you just don't have a choice. Like, what, you think BlockFi is going to like stand up for what? For like some idealistic reason? Like, just for this ideal, we're going to stand up and we're all willing to go to jail and shut down our company. No, nobody wins in that case. That'll never happen. No, well, nobody wins. Nobody wins. Yeah. So unfortunately, you just got to see them, you know, more and more, you know, playing along with the regulators. And I suggest they do that. If they don't play with the regulators, they will face consequences. There you go. All right, next question. I got two more for you. This one, BitBoy Bench Max ? What?
What's your bench max?
Oh, bench max? 305. 305 was my last, but I've lost a lot of weight, so I don't know what it is right now. Probably like 290, 295. We'll get it back up though. We're going down, then we're gonna build back up. So
tear it down to build it back up better.
We build back better. We are the Joe Biden of bench.
No,
benching.
Stop.
Go Brandon. That's what they tell me when I'm on the bench, you know. I'm just kidding. They do not say that.
Brando. All right, next question coming in for me, and this is something I saw when you were looking at the BTC chart. If you want to pull that back up or look at it.
Sure.
And it was going back to July, August. If you look at this right here, this has the potential to be a head and shoulders form from about the middle of July. That's the beginning of the left shoulder, correct?
Beginning,
right?
Well, look, you're kind of saying like this is a shoulder, or this is
that's the shoulder.
This is a shoulder. The head. This is a head,
and then we're waiting on the other shoulder.
And this could be the shoulder. Well, look, I mean, certainly that argument can be made. Certainly that argument can be made, but most of the time when you see a head, you know, you don't kind of see a double kind of move here.
Okay.
There's definitely potential though. Definitely potential for it. We'll have to see how this next little run up plays up. But like if this were to run up, then it's not going to form a head and shoulders, if that makes sense. Right, so
yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to see. I mean, I'm looking right now, like what if this is like a massive, you know, here's one shoulder.
It's like a bodybuilder. It's like a bodybuilder right here.
Yeah, bodybuilder. You got a massive shoulder over here. We'll have to see. I mean, ultimately, look, here's the important thing that we all learned over the last year. We don't know where Bitcoin is going. No one knows. People who tell you they know, unfortunately, they just do not know. there's some developments about XRP. Was that some information?
I thought there was.
What does it say,
breaking news.
Johnny? What's the XRP update for the day? Of course, after the lawsuit, it'll go over $1.
He came in with this printout. I literally
did.
thought like the case has been settled.
I did too. I was like, oh, we got breaking news in the chat. Breaking news in the chat. We'll have some XRP. We'll cover it tomorrow. We'll cover XRP news tomorrow for sure. So, Johnny, make sure tomorrow we got some really big XRP updates in the tank. So we'll be talking about XRP price action tomorrow for sure. Right now, I mean, the basic buzz is like, where do you think the price can go? And that's what I'm just telling you guys. We don't know where the price is going to go for Bitcoin. We don't know where the price is going to go for XRP. I believe when the lawsuit's over, it easily go back over $1. And that's basically a no-brainer at this point. But we don't know where Bitcoin is heading for sure. All we can do is read the tea leaves, continue to watch the charts, continue to watch the price action, and try to judge to the best of our ability. There is a legitimate chance Bitcoin goes to $20,000 before the end of this year. There's also a legitimate chance that Bitcoin goes to $200,000 by the end of this year. All we can do is make the next best move based on the information and look for confirmations on breakouts and breakdowns. And that's what we do. That's it. We got another question or no? That's it, guys. That's the whole show today. So I think TJ will be back tomorrow, I believe. Is that right? Do you know? Perfect. I'm not sure yet. I got to wait for TJ on confirmation for that. So I think me and TJ are going on Thursday to our C12 meeting, but we'll have to figure it out. Guys, be patient out there. Tonight, 9 o'clock, I got a special video for you guys, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to check that out. Recorded it this morning. And also, we're going to be Michael Saylor interview, going to be on the channel tomorrow. And the next day, we're going to release those at night, about 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is our new video time after Around the Blockchain, so you guys can look forward to those. I don't really like putting videos in the middle unless it's really, really big breaking news. We have that. We might do some of those videos as well. But I feel good. I have not watched the Novak interview on BBC. I'll try to check it out. All right, guys, that's all we got. Be blessed. Good boy out.